something huge is going on. We are in a secret war, and the UN is coming out and now admitting it. They're giving an emergency, urgent warning because this is critical. This could affect world governments. This could affect the United States, China, Russia. Any NATO country is up for grabs right now. They could all be affected, and their leaders could be in danger, and they actually already could be under these situations. So very serious stuff is coming out. They're warning that we are essentially in a top secret, clandestine, invisible war that we cannot see, and it is going on all around us. And it could even affect you personally. It could even affect individuals personally. This goes all the way from a societal level all the way down to an individual level. The UN is warning that this could affect you, and this could be huge. All right, this could be the next step, the next wave of technology that they are going to unleash, the next wave of dystopia that will be unleashed on the public. And they're even admitting onto world leaders. Okay, so big things are going on. The UN is making a task force for this. The head of the UN, the Secretary General, is coming out and warning of this. And when you see these global institutions coming out and warning of this and saying, hey, this is coming next, we need to be aware, because they always tell us what they're going to do next. It's just most people don't really read the documents. They're not digging into these documents and finding the UN documents and finding the quotes like I do. All right. People ask, like, how do you find this stuff? How do you know this stuff? It's because I read what they tell us. I just read all the time. I'm always digging for information, and I read exactly what they say and what they tell us. So none of this is a conspiracy. None of this is made up. And even the UN is coming out and saying that this is a major, serious issue that we need to be prepared for. All right. So you can see here, just to get things started. All right. We're going to just lay the stage here, and then we will get into what this UN emergency report is warning of, because they're saying that things could pop off soon and the world could essentially change very soon. And we are already in this clandestine war that is going on. All right. So just to get things started, okay, we have top experts coming out, and this isn't even the UN. We will get to the UN warning in just a second, but we have top Silicon Valley AI experts, and they keep warning of these doomsday scenarios. Okay. They're saying that they're worried that this AI is going to take over and it is going to potentially wipe out humanity. Sorry about that. I got a bunch of flies flying around out here. All right, bunch of flies up here. But they're warning that it could take out humanity. And this is related to what the UN is warning of as well. And they're warning that our own top leaders could be in danger right now. All right, right now. And they're saying there's a war going on right now. But AI doomsday scenarios are gaining traction in Silicon Valley. This is an article coming out of Bloomberg, July 13th, 2023, just today. This is coming out, and it says controversial AI theorist Eliezer Yudkowsky sits on the fringe of the industry's most extreme circle of commentators, where the extinction of the human species is inevitable as a result of developing advanced AI, specifically artificial general intelligence. And we're going to break down how this relates to everything here. But this is the start of it all. Okay, they are unleashing these technologies onto the public, and they're going to use AI to specifically master these technologies and interpret and manipulate their data at such high levels that humans normally couldn't process this data and make sense of it, much less process it and be able to use it at an even higher function at the rate that AI is able to do it. Okay, so we have top experts coming out, and we also have the Washington Times coming out and giving this very eerie statement. Okay, and then we will get to what the UN's warning as well. The UN Secretary General is warning of this. They just created a task force for this, and when organizations like the UN come out, we need to listen, because it means governments all across the world, multinational, dozens and dozens and dozens of governments are coordinating and preparing for this to happen. But let's dive into here, and you'll see how this all makes sense in just a second. But the Washington Times also came out with this article as well too. China crafts weapons to alter brain function. This just came out July 6, 2023. says the report says tech meant to influence government leaders. This is coming out of the Washington Times. Okay, and if you've heard some of my videos recently, I just bring this up randomly and start ranting about this because this is the future. And now we have the UN just came out today, July 13th, and gave this emergency warning. We will get to that in just a second. But this is an article out of the Washington Times, July 6th, saying the tech is meant to influence government leaders, okay? Alter brain functions. And they're saying only the Chinese has it right now. They're saying they are the most advanced in their technology. And it's called neurostrike technology. It's very similar to Havana syndrome and things like that. And they're warning that China has essentially perfected this neurostrike technology. This is what this Washington Times article is saying. And they are going to use it on world leaders to influence them and get what they want. Okay, this is insane. This is like Dr. Doom level stuff and like comic books. Okay, this is the territory we're entering here, where they are controlling world leaders' brains with this neurostrike technology. And I know this sounds absurd, but this is a Washington Times article. I'll put it up here for you guys so you can see the article, see the exact article and everything. It was just posted. And now the UN is coming out and giving an emergency warning as well related to this. This stuff is getting very serious, very dangerous. What if they're able to use this neurostrike technology to influence our own president to make decisions that are not in our best interest? All right, there's already a lot of other things going on, but what if this neurostrike, that's what they call it, that's the military term, neurostrike weapons, all right? Remember that, because you are going to start hearing this in the future a lot more. I like to talk about things that are coming next, what's coming next, and these neurostrike weapons. And they're warning that they could be used on entire populations and individuals as well. Let me just reread this article and then we'll get into the details of this article. And then we will get into this UN warning as well, because this is all related and it's very serious. And I really want to push this topic out into the ethos, into the ether, and get people talking about it, okay? One more time, from Washington Times, mainstream news. China crafts weapons to alter brain function. Report says tech is meant to influence government leaders. This is absolutely insane that they're coming out admitting this, because we've known things like this have been going on. But now they're admitting there are directed energy frequency weapons that they can target at individuals and alter their thinking. Okay? You can see here, this is coming out of the Washington Times article. Neurostrike is a military term defined as the engineered targeting of the brains of military personnel or civilian using non-kinetic technology. The goal is to impair thinking, reduce situational awareness, inflict long-term neurological damage, and cloud normal cognitive functions. That's what this article out of the Washington Times is saying. They're also saying this, quote, the weapons can be used to directly attack or control brains using microwave or other directed energy weapons in handheld guns or larger weapons firing electromagnetic beams, adding that the danger of China's brain warfare weapons prior to or during a conflict is no longer theoretical. Okay, and they keep saying China only has this. We know that countries all over the world have this, including the US. They just don't want to come out and admit this technology. But even countries like Cuba have this. Remember Havana syndrome, where all of these top officials kept getting neurological damage after they would visit Cuba, and they determined that it was from one of these directed energy weapons, these invisible weapons that use sonic acoustics, or they use microwave radiation or radio waves, okay? They use multiple different waves, but they're all directed energy weapons, and they are saying that they could be used to influence entire populations or world leaders. And this article was specifically saying that China has been trying to perfect it to invade Taiwan. So when they invade Taiwan, they are going to direct these energy weapons at the leaders of Taiwan. Pretty insane. I know this sounds futuristic, but this is real stuff going on right now. We live in the future. We just haven't been given the future technologies, just the dystopian side of it. But when they invade Taiwan, they're going to activate these weapons onto the leaders and instill fear, instill chaos, cloud their brains, and essentially not allow them to act, essentially hijack their brains. And they even have technology where they can implant thoughts into their brains as well. They're just not admitting this yet fully, but where they can intercept your brain waves and interject a new wave into it before you even get your thought. All right, they can essentially just put new thoughts into your brain. And they already have stuff like this V2K, voice to skull, where they can make it sound like sounds are right in your ear, even though they are very far away. They use this on birds at airports all the time. So this stuff's going on. This stuff's real. And we're only getting this admitted because China is going to potentially use this in Taiwan very soon. And they want to have this narrative out here that, hey, this stuff's real. We've also seen the State Department and the Commerce Secretary, they've been under a massive hack right now. Their emails have been hacked, allegedly by Chinese hackers as well. That's what mainstream news is coming out. And they're saying it's related to this Microsoft hack. I was telling you guys, it is going deep, and the emails are going to be compromised that have Microsoft Outlook, okay? Let's get into this UN warning because this is all related. I wanted to break down this article out of the Washington Times first because the UN is now warning of the same thing on an individual level. This is insane, and you guys need to be preparing for this and thinking about this. And this is why getting to locations where there is not a lot of cell phone towers or there's not a lot of communication towers, okay, because these are going to be the conduits for a lot of this technology. These high-powered radio transmitters like 5G could be overtaken, and a lot of them are even built overseas. The technology made by Huawei, overseas companies that potentially could be used not in our best interest and used as directed energy weapons. These 5G radio towers that are now all over the place and are hundreds of times more powerful than the previous 4G towers. Okay, that's why they have to be so close, is because the wavelengths are way more powerful, but they don't travel as far. That's why your best bet is to get out of these cities so you can avoid these directed energy weapons that are being unleashed on to publics around the world, okay? This is coming out of the Associated Free Press and the UN official website, and their top secretary general is also commenting on this as well. So this is the headline out of the Associated Free Press. AI supercharged neurotech threatens mental privacy. AI supercharged neurotech threatens mental privacy. This is coming out of UNESCO, a UN organization. Their environmental and science organization, okay? The UNESCO, UNESCO. This is coming out of them right now and being reported that neurotech, this AI supercharged neurotech, is threatening mental privacy. If you've been watching my videos, you've heard me talk about this dozens of times, but this is going on right now, and the UN is even saying, hey, this is real, and because they are probably getting worried that their own leaders, they could be targeted. Their brain patterns and brainwaves could be targeted, mapped out, and they could potentially be trying to read other world leaders' brains and even interject new thoughts or paralyze them. Okay, this is coming out of the Associated Free Press just today, July 13th, 2023. This is big breaking news. Okay, so you can see here the combination of, quote, warp speed advances in neurotechnology such as brain implants or scans that can increasingly peek inside minds and artificial intelligence poses a threat to mental privacy, UNESCO warned on Thursday. This just came out, guys. This is huge. And if you saw my video yesterday, I was talking about this a little bit. And now the UN is saying, hey, these neurostrike weapons are real, and we are worried that our leaders are under threat. This is crazy. This is like a James Bond movie. This is like a Doctor Doom Marvel movie scenario, but it's real, right? It's real because life mimics art, art mimics life. Okay, these things are real. There's always little speckles of truth in these movies that are being put out, okay? And these narratives, these stories, these are all just stories that are being put out. There's always specks of truth. And now we are seeing that this stuff's real. You can see here, the UN's Agency for Science and Culture has started developing a, quote, global ethical framework to address human rights concerns posed by neurotechnology, okay? They are saying here also, recently, neurotechnology has been supercharged by artificial intelligence algorithms, which can process and learn from data in ways never before possible, said the UNESCO economist specialist in AI. Their last name is Squisinieri. Okay, I can't pronounce it great, I'm sorry. But it's Squicciarini. That's their last name. They are the head economist, a specialist in AI at UNESCO. They're saying, quote, it's like putting neurotech on steroids, having this AI able to manipulate this data and enhance it and intercept it. This is very serious that this is going on. They also said that we are on a path, quote, this is what Gabriela Ramos, the UNESCO's Assistant Director General for Social and Human Sciences, said, quote, we are on a path to a world in which algorithms will enable us to decode people's mental processes and directly manipulate the brain mechanisms underlying their intentions, emotions, and decisions, she told the conference. Like, that is gravity right there, okay? We're on a path in which to a world in which algorithms will enable us to decode people's mental processes and, quote, directly manipulate the brain mechanisms underlying their intentions, emotions, and decisions. This stuff's real. This is the future. This is why I keep harping on this frequency and technology, because it's being used to manipulate weather patterns. It's being used to manipulate human consciousness and human development as well. And also all the way down to individual levels, it's potentially manipulating things as well. So this is huge that they're saying manipulate the brain mechanisms underlying their intentions, emotions, and decisions. So they can essentially hijack your brain now like a computer, because all your brain is a massive supercomputer. And what does this do for geopolitical situations? The countries that have, this is the future. This is the future of weaponry. This is the future of warfare. This is why I started this out as the UN is admitting we are in a secret war, an invisible war. This is the future of warfare, is information. Warfare is already 90% information. Okay, that's why we see all these psyops constantly. 90% information is warfare. 10% of it is kinetic. And now they are even making the kinetic part of it non-kinetic and asymmetrical with these attacks, because they are still attacks. It's like a cyber attack, a neurostrike attack. It's still an attack, but they are making it so not a shot has to be fired, or people don't even know they are being affected. World leaders could be under these neurostrike events, and who knows, Kim Jong-un could be under one, and they could force him to push the button, okay? They could force anyone. The United States president could be under it. The Russian president could be under it. The Chinese president could be influenced by this. They were saying specifically China has been, and this is just what's admitted, all the countries do this, and the country that is going to be able to do this the best is going to control the world and control the future, because we are moving into a scenario where we don't even have free will. We're moving into a non-free will scenario. People always wonder, like, how are we going to get to these end time scenarios where where they have no free will, or they can't hide? You can't lie about what you believe. They know what you believe. They can read your mind. There's no hiding anymore. There's no saying that, hey, I'm not this or that, or I don't believe in this, or, I think that's cool. They can read your mind directly, and that's the future we are moving in towards. And that's why they said mental privacy is being threatened. Mental privacy. This is insane. It feels like we're living in a sci-fi novel, but this stuff's real. This technology is real, and it's only going to get more advanced as artificial general intelligence, AGI, is developed as well, and this stuff accelerates. And they were saying that China is specifically thinking about targeting India as well, because China is always having these regional and border conflicts with India, and they are kind of always in these small little conflicts, okay? But it's always a issue that could boil over. And they are saying that they have been trying to target Indian leaders with these neurostrike weapons and to influence their decisions. So very serious times that we're heading into, and very dystopian times. And also populations could be influenced. There could be demoralization campaigns going on with this. There's been admitted technologies like that for decades, that frequencies are put out through radio transmitter towers that create docility, make the public more docile, make the public less angry, make them a little more, or it can agitate them. This stuff's been admitted, but now with AI, it can be targeted to an individual level, and they can go into people's neurobiology and manipulate it electronically and remotely. All right. So I know that's kind of a mouthful. I know that's kind of just a lot to take in, but this stuff's real. And I've been harping on this for the past few months, just bringing it up randomly in videos. And now the UN is coming out and saying this. So please hit it up down there for me to get this video out to more people, because people need to know about this. And they are saying that it could affect you individually. You could be affected by this new technology that is being built. And more broadly, our leaders could be affected, and they could be influenced to make terrible decisions for our own interest of our country. So big things are going on, and people need to know about this. This narrative needs to get out. This needs to be normalized, and people need to know, hey, maybe something's going on. Maybe there's some kind of neurostrike event. Maybe there's some kind of manipulation going on, because this doesn't make sense. And they're even saying specifically, if China invades Taiwan, which we know that this narrative has been put out for a long time, and the US has even said that we will defend Taiwan, and we will even destroy the semiconductor factories in Taiwan, because that's the big cheese there, is these semiconductor factories in Taiwan. It accounts for a major percentage of the world's semiconductors, which are in everything. They're even in your card. If you have a chip card, the debit card, semiconductors are in it. Everything you use that is electronic or quasi-electronic that can interact with electronics has some kind of semiconductor inside of it. And this is why Taiwan is so key, because it has all these factories, and the US is saying, we are going to defend this. But what happens if these weapons are used on Taiwan leaders or US leaders, and they are able to influence them? All right. So we're moving into literal Doctor Doom, literal like sci-fi movie scenarios, but it's real. Look at all this stuff going on. Look at all this technology that's been released, all of these weapons that have been released in the past few years. And you can bet that there are going to be more. One of the main scenarios they were talking about in this article as well was China releasing a bio weapon that only they are protected against, and then they will use these neurostrike weapons to take out the rest of the population. This was the war game that they were imagining on Taiwan, is to release a bacterial infection that doesn't affect them because they are already protected against it, okay, pre-protected, and it takes out a massive amount of the Taiwanese population. And then they are saying that they're going to take out the rest of the leaders and population with neurostrike weapons and incapacitate them. And we already see the US has microwave weapons, microwave riot weapons, where it prevents you from moving, it burns your skin. All these things are already kind of quasi out in the open, but we're going to see a lot more of this in the near future. So please hit it up for me down there to help get this video out to more people. It really helps. People need to be getting prepared. People need to be stocked up on food, water, shelter, have a good location, seeds, medicine, antibiotics, your normal medicine you take, ibuprofen, vitamin C, vitamins, vitamin D. Get stocked up on all these things that you need to survive and that will keep you healthy in a SHTF scenario, because we want to grow food, we want to homestead, all these things are important, but it's hard for a lot of people. So the way you're going to survive is storing food, having 20-pound bags of rice, having tons of canned food, buying storable food if you want to. Try a small amount before you buy a big amount, because you might not like the taste of it. But rice is key. Rice gives you tons of calories. That could be your base. And then you can fill it in with your canned vegetables, canned fruit, and canned meat. All right, so get stocked up. We could see a big event happening very soon. We also know the electric grid is up in the air right now. They keep warning that we could have an internet or electric blackout and we could have digital IDs after these things come back online, okay? And then you're tracked and traced that way, and then you could also be tracked and traced neurologically with these neuro weapons as well that are being released onto the public and onto world leaders. So please hit it up for me down there. Please get prepared. Get out of the cities where these radio transmitter towers are most powerful and most active. Get as far away. Get on the edge of having cell phone or internet. Just get on the edge. All right, get on the edge. Get away from these systems, because you're constantly being doused with this electromagnetic radiation, and now we are seeing that it could be targeted as well. So please hit it up for me down there. Thank you guys for watching. I'm super blessed to have you guys watching and listening to me, and I'm just blessed that you guys will listen to these ideas with an open mind. Even if you don't agree with everything I say, I don't expect everyone to just, oh yeah, this guy, but just have an open mind. Just think about it. Just like let this seed be planted in your mind. Start thinking about it and do your own research. I always say that on these videos. If you don't believe me on something, go look it up. Everything I say, I try to verify and research and just store in my brain. All right, I see something and I store it in my brain. I kind of have like a photographic memory where I can read articles and just bring them back up in my head. So this stuff's sourced, this stuff's real. Go look it up for yourself, and please get prepared for you and your family. I hope you and your family have big blessings. I hope you guys have a great summer. It's beautiful out. All this stuff's going on, but life's beautiful. Look at these trees blowing behind me. Look at the blue sky, the clouds, the grass, this little Christmas tree over here. You see this little Christmas tree over here? All right, it's beautiful. Life's beautiful. I saw a marmot running around earlier. There's a marmot outside my RV that just lives like in a little wood stack outside my RV. Just a marmot. I keep seeing this marmot every day. All right, life's beautiful. Life's good. That's why they want to destroy it. That's why they want to bring these things down, because it is so beautiful and it is so amazing. But a lot of people don't get to experience that. All right. So please enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, go do something, go get outside, go to the lake, go fishing, go boating, go on a hike, just go walk down to the park, go walk your dog, just do something, be alive, be a human, because they're trying to take our humanity away from us. And one of the main ways we can push back is to have our families, take care of our families, give our families good situation, feed our families well, spend time with our families, homeschool our kids, protect our children, protect our wives, protect our husbands, fight for them, live for them, okay? All these things are what is going to turn the tide, because that's what you can control. You can control things on a micro level. We can't control macro what's going on, but if we can tell our family members, if we can warn our family members, if we can get them prepared, if we can get them in better situations, all these things, and we are doing our part, and things will change, things will get better, and we can't lose hope. All right, so I just wanted to say that, because I know a lot of these videos are, hey, there's a lot of Shtf going on, but even if stuff hit the fan, I would still be grateful. I would still be happy. I'd be like, you know what, it's still a beautiful day out. Beautiful day out. I don't have water or whatever. I gotta go walk 2 miles to the stream over here to get some water, but it's a great day. All right, still a beautiful day, and I'm so thankful I'm alive. So please hit it up for me down there. I'm thankful you guys are watching, and I'm thankful for all the blessings you guys give me, and all the kind words and everything else. All right, I'm thankful for all that. I'm super blessed, and I hope you guys have a big old blessed day.